So guys, welcome back. So once again, ASAP methodology, and here we'll talk about fourth and fifth phase. So guys, now till now what we have done, we have seen like first phase, second phase, and third phase. Project preparation means, of course, first phase initiations, beginning, where team size and team members are going to be decided. Kickoff meeting will be conducted here, and then blueprint means discussion with the core team member, right? That happens here in blueprint. Third page, realization. So based on the discussions, what happened, guys? We have to configure, right? We have to do the configurations, process mapping, right? And whenever the configurations, like whatever configurations done, so for that we have to perform testing also. These things we have done here in realization, okay? And another thing is, guys, what configurations and how to perform testing. So now when I start the practical session, multiple configurations we have to perform, we have to do, and testing also I'll explain, guys, in detail. Then the fourth one is called final preparations. So here in final preparations, what happened, guys? There are certain activity. Look at here. In final preparations, what happened? These are the activity, okay, which is being performed, that is user acceptance test. That is the first thing. Okay, so I told you guys in this realizations what we have done. We have performed UT and IT. It means unit test and integration test. Now I'll tell you guys, if we talk about unit test and integration test, so here what happens now, this unit test. So who has performed this unit test, guys? It has been like, so this one unit test is performed by, okay. So who has performed this unit test? Of course, the answer is consultant. Who has performed this integration test? Consultant. In the sense we have performed this testing. What about the client? Isn't it? So client also have to perform the testing because see, we have done the configurations, we have performed the testing, and we are saying that yes, it is fine, it's perfect, there is no any problem, right? But what about the client? Ultimately, this SAP configurations and implementations, right? These things are being done for Tata Motor. So they will also check from their side, they will also test from their side, right? So whichever testing, like we have performed, those testings will be done by even client side also, and it is called user acceptance test. The test which is the test which is like performed by users means the employee of Tata Motor, that is called UAT, user acceptance test. The same test, guys, this unit test, whichever unit test and integration test performed by us, the same testing will be done by user, in the sense employee of Tata Motor, that is called user acceptance test. Okay, now once the UAT is done, in short form it is called UAT. So once the UAT is done, then what happened, guys? It means we have done with all the configurations and testing. Configurations done by us, testing done by us in the form of UT and IT, and even testing done by client also in the form of user acceptance test. If they are satisfied, it's okay, then we'll have to proceed further. If still, let's suppose if they're having any dissatisfactions, or if they need any, what do you say, rectification or changes and all, so we have to perform again we have to make some changes in the configurations to meet the requirement, right? And once the client is satisfied and UAT is done, then what happen guys? Then we have to go for next activity, that is called cut over activity. What is this cut over activity? There are lots of people they don't know what is cut over. What is this cut over activity? Multiple time during interview, people have asked these questions. What do you mean by cut over activity? How many people are going to reply? Maybe 1% or 2%. Okay, I'll tell you guys in a very simple way. Cut over activity. What is this cut over activity? Talk about cut over activity. Now what happened guys? See here, look at here. Tata Motor. So this implementation is happening here in Tata Motor, right? So at present, Tata Motor is using Tally, and Tally will be replaced by SAP. Now, what happened, guys? In Tally, like let's suppose Tally was Tata Motors started in let's suppose 2001, okay, and since then Tata Motor is using Tally, okay, 2001, and this implementation is happening in 2023, current year, right? So whichever 2023, let's suppose this implementation. Now what happened, guys? So here what happened? Okay. So there are multiple transactions. There are multiple transactions posted here into this tally. Okay. And this is existing ERP and this is the upcoming ERP we can say, right? So whatever this existing ERP is there, in that multiple transactions are already posted. Now what happened? So here Tata Motor is going to switch from Tally to SAP. So guys, there are multiple data which is still there in Tally itself. Now, I'll tell you. There are certain report. There are certain report where like client says that okay, I have to calculate the percentage growth. Okay, revenue growth or profit percentage growth in terms of like let's suppose revenue or whatever it is. So revenue, if they have to calculate such kind of like if they need such kind of calculations, then what happened, guys? Percentage growth can be calculated only if we have the previous data, because at present this year sale is let's suppose 100 million. Previous year sale was 90 million. Previous to previous year was 80 million. So I'll tell you guys, if we have the previous data, then only the comparison will happen. We have to compare the current data with the previous data, and based on that, what happened? Then people are going to find out the differences, and then they are going to count the percentage, isn't it? So, such kind of report is possible only if we have the previous data, right? But now, as I told you, previous data is there here in Tally, right? And SAP is going to be implemented in 2023 or 2024 or whichever year, right? So whatever this previous data is there, that is also required, isn't it? So whichever the data are there here into Tally, that must be migrated to SAP. So this activity is called cut over activity. Cut over activity means what, guys? In another word, it is called data migration activity. Okay. Cutover activity is also called data migration activity. So data is going to be migrated from Tally to SAP. Now, whatever this existing ERP is there, guys, it is called legacy system. Okay, keep see. I'll tell you guys, this small words are there, but it's going to make you unique compared to other people. Okay, so now what happened, guys? What is I'm explaining this cutover activity. Cutover activity. Okay, what is this cutover activity? Cutover activity is called data migration activity, where the data will be migrated from legacy system to SAP system. This is what, right? You have to say. This is how you have to say during interview. Cutover activity is nothing but data migration activity, and generally, in data migration activity, what we do, we have to migrate the data from legacy system to SAP system. If anybody asks, what is this legacy system, right? So actually, whatever the existing system is there, right, that is called legacy system, and this legacy system itself is going to be replaced by SAP, or legacy system itself will be replaced by SAP, right? So in this case, what is happening, guys? Existing ERP is Tally, so Tally is called legacy system. Hope it is pretty clear, guys. Okay, so what is this cutover activity? Cutover activity is called data migration activity, where the data will be migrated from legacy system to SAP system. What next? The next one is end user training. End user training means, now Tata Motor is having employee, and let's suppose, so these people, okay, so Tata Motor employees are like, so these people are habituated of this ERP, Tally ERP. I mean to say legacy system. Now what happened? SAP system, of course, it is pretty new for those people. So we have to train them. We have we have to train. You have to provide training to those people that how to use this SAP. Let's suppose a particular invoice, which is like, so this invoice earlier, Tata Motor employee, they used to post this invoice here into legacy system. Now the same invoice, how this same invoice will be posted here into SAP system, that we have to teach them. We have to train them, right? You have to educate those people. So of course, training also will be given. End user training. End user training doesn't mean, guys, we are going to, it doesn't mean that we have to train all the people. Let's suppose in finance department, if we have 200 people, 300 people. So what will happen, guys, in this case? Are we going to train all 300 people? No, it is not possible. Okay. So simply what happened? We are going to invite core team member, and we'll say better to invite another 5 6 person, okay, from finance department. So including core team member, and let's suppose there'll be another 5 or 6 person. Okay, so we are going to provide training to those people, and these people will train their teammates. Okay, so end user training, or if there is a small team, then no, what to say? Then in that case, of course, we can train everybody. Okay, training will be simple only, guys, because what happened? These people, they know the activities, they know very well. Why? Because the same activities they are already performing here, right? Into legacy system. Now what happened? Activity it's same, transaction it's same. Only the ERP got changed. It means screen will be changed. Earlier, Tally is having different screen, different fields are there, right? But here SAP is having different screen and different fields will be there, isn't it? Okay. So end user training. Now three activity. Then what is the fourth one? Look at here. Preparation of training manuals. Okay, of course we have to prepare a training manual also. Okay, so that in future, if they forgotten any step, then if this manual is there, in that case, simply they can refer this training manual and they can proceed further. So this training manual, see, I'll tell you guys, these are like it's a kind of formality itself. Formality means, of course, these you must have to deliver these things, right? So training manual we have to prepare, and then that is going to be handed over to the client. Okay. So preparation of training manual and then configuration document. I'll tell you guys, configuration document means what configurations we have done for Tata Motor. So whichever configurations we have done, right? We have to prepare a document also, and these documents we have to hand over. Okay, we have to hand it over to the client. Some of you might be disagreed that, sir, why should I hand over these documents? I have prepared the configuration document. Why should I give to the client? If I give the configuration document to the client, these people will learn these configurations and all. Those people are going to become expert. But I'll tell you guys, no, it's not that easy, isn't it? And configuration documents, whichever configuration documents we have performed, that is not our assets. It's a client assets. Okay. If you guys are able to remember in this ASAP methodology session number one, video number one, right? I told that initially what happened when the let's suppose if let's suppose Tata Motor decided to go for this SAP implementations, what happened in that case? They are going to invite quotations from different organizations, right? So let's suppose a particular organization is you know selected is selected by Tata Motor. It means that particular organization has won the bid. Okay, and I told like let's suppose IBM. So initially what happened? Tata Motor will be having a contract with the IBM, right? As per contract, SAP must be implemented in within like 8 month time limit. Along with that, multiple other terms and conditions also will be there. Terms and conditions means if it is not completed in 8 months, then client will charge certain penalty, isn't it? Apart from this, client will say that your whichever the documents, whichever documents are prepared by the consultant at the end of this implementation project, what happened? Those document, right, must be handed over to the clients. So initially itself, this agreement is already done, isn't it? So whichever this training manuals, of course, we have to prepare and we have to hand over, and even a configuration document also we have to prepare and we have to hand it over to the client. There is a benefit actually why client demand this configuration document. Okay, so I'll tell you. Now, once this configuration document is handed over, then what will happen, guys? It means we have done with the all this activity. Okay, we have done with all this activity, and once we have done with all the activity, then what next, guys? Of course, it's a time of celebrations in the sense, now here we have entered into fifth phase means go live. It means SAP system is ready to record the live transactions. This is what is happening in go live. Now what is happening? Tally become history and present is SAP. Tally become past, right? So SAP system now in go live means, let's suppose if today is go live, it means today onwards, Tata Motor employee will start hitting all the transactions here into SAP system, and now tally is gone. Okay. So once they started entering, once they started posting all the transactions, once they started like performing all the activity here into SAP. So what happened, guys? Now this support phase comes after this go live. Why? Because now implementation is completed, and then what is happening, guys? Now, once the implementation is completed, after go live, what happened? Do you think that Tata Motor will proceed further without our help? It is impossible because it's a software, it's an ERP. What will happen if their employee face any sort of issues, any sort of error? Who is going to rectify? Of course, SAP consultant. So once the implementation is completed, then what happened, guys? They need support. Without support, they cannot proceed further. Not only support doesn't mean that we have to solve the errors only, even multiple other requirements also will be there. Okay, several requirements will be there. Sometime what happened, guys? Let's suppose if the government had changed the tax rule, then what happened? Now we have to, in the sense like in SAP, whatever configurations are there in that, some changes supposed to be done. So who will perform this? Like who is going to do these changes? Of course, SAP consultant. Government has added some additional tax. We have to map this. We have to configure this. Who will configure? SAP consultant. Right? Let's suppose earlier the depreciation percentage was different, and in the current financial year, what is happening, guys? Depreciation percentage it changed. Now what will happen? There will be certain impact. Who is going to configure this? Of course, SAP consultant. So on each and every step, Tata Motor need assistance, right? They need our help, right? So even after go live, what happened, guys? After go live, again Tata Motor has to go for support. So support is a continuous process, guys. If the Tata Motor, let's suppose Tata Motor is going to use this SAP, say for example 100 years, so entire 100 years they need support. And who is going to provide the support? Of course, SAP consultant. And SAP consultants are working in IBM, they are working in Accenture, they are working in, what to say, Wipro, Infosys, TCS, right? So now what happened? Generally, in real time, what happened? Let's suppose if IBM has done this implementations, then initial support project is also given to IBM itself. The implementations, there was a deadline of 8 months. Within 8 months, implementation is completed, go live is done, our work is done. Now what happened? Now Tata Motor need support. For support, they have to make another payment. In the sense, they have to make annual payment for that. Every year, certain amount they have. Tata Motor has to pay, right? And again, there will be a dedicated team. Say, for example, support is also given to IBM itself. So there will be a dedicated team which is going to give support to Tata Motor. Now, I told you guys, why do we need to prepare a configuration document? Why client always ask like, okay, where is the configuration document? You have to hand it over. Because I told you that after go live, what happened? Tata Motor needs support. This implementation is done by IBM. Okay. So after go live, what happened, guys? Support. We have, in the sense, Tata Motor has entered into support phase. In support phase, what happened? If the client decided to go with a different company, say for example, support project is gone to TCS, right? Tata Motor says that no, we are not going to take support from IBM because their bid is like bit costly compared to TCS. So support project went to TCS. Now what happened, guys? Implementation has been done by IBM. Now support will be given by TCS. So how TCS people will come to know about Tata Motor structure, right? Or like whatever configurations we have done. Of course, TCS means their employees are also consultant only. They will check all the configurations, but it takes time. Instead of that, they will check the blueprint, they will check this configuration document, and they will come to know what exactly we have configured. So for TCS employee, what happened, guys? Their work is going to be easy, right? So that is the reason client, for the safer side, what happened? Client says that you have to hand over all the documents, and of course, as per rule, as per agreement, we must have to hand over all the documents. That is the reason we have to hand over, guys, all the documents, since these documents are not our property. It belongs to Tata Motor. Okay, so these are the activity which happens here in fourth phase. User acceptance test, a test which is done by users, I mean to say the employee of Tata Motor, right? Cutover activity means data migration activity where the data will be migrated from legacy system to SAP system. What is this legacy system? So whichever the existing ERP is there, that is called legacy system, and upcoming ERP is SAP system. Why? Because the implementation is happening, right? So this is upcoming ERP. And the next one is end user training. We have to train the employee of Tata Motor. End user means the employee of Tata Motor. Consultant means you people. I mean to say employee of IBM. Right? Now, then preparation of training manual, whichever training we have given to Tata Motor employee. Now, for the same, we have to prepare a document also. That is called preparation of training manual. And what next, guys? Configuration document. We have to prepare a configuration document, and that also should be handed over to the client. Once it is done, then we are going to enter into next phase, and that is called go live. Okay, go live means in this one, SAP system is ready to record the live transactions. And once the go live is done, then what happened, guys? Implementation project is ended, and a support page will be started here, right? So this is a different project, and this project, mostly what happened, guys, in most of the cases, whichever company has implemented SAP, support also goes to that company itself, at least for initial few years, right? Initial few years. Once the system is stabilized, once the SAP is stabilized, right? After that, here what happened? Maybe support means they have given a contract for 3 years, right? So after 3 years, again, Tata Motor is free to invite anybody, right? So in support, what happened, guys? Post implementations, all SAP related maintenance or error activities comes under support project, right? Here, what happened? This is already explained in the previous session also. Consultant, it means you people just receive the errors or some other kind of requirements, right? And what is happening? If it is error, then we have to solve them, and then we have to confirm back to the client, right? So this is what is happening here in support phase. So this is all about this ASAP methodology, or this is all about the project phase.